Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be working on this cabinet right here. This is right off of our dining room, and if you guys have seen in other videos, we used to have like a little buffet thing here. It was like a small thing and it had like a barn door. It's very cute. I actually moved it into the kitchen because there's space there, but I feel like it was too small for this space, and also it didn't really have the storage that we needed. So I had been keeping my eye out for like china cabinets and things like that on Facebook Marketplace, and then this one appeared. This was only $25, which just is crazy to me. So I immediately like messaged Kayla. I'm like, we have to go get this. And luckily it does like separate into two parts, so we could fit it in our car. But it's nice and tall. I don't think you can even see the top of it. There's this bottom section, which I'll do like a separate shot of everything because I can't get everything in the frame. But the bottom part has like two drawers, which I think will be amazing for storage. And then we have this part here, which I love because it has the glass doors, the glass shelves, and I finally have a space where I can like display, you know, my pretty crystal bowls and like my fancy plates and just glass things and stuff like that. And something that I really, really like is that there's actually a light. How cool! When we got there to pick it up, the lady actually said she didn't know if the light worked because she had never used it. And Caleb even whispered to me, he's like, that means it doesn't work. And honestly, I didn't think it was gonna work. But I plugged it in and it worked. Oh, Oliver wants to check it out too. So you may be thinking like, well, what are you gonna do with it? It looks pretty great. And it does. I really love how like simple the shape is. A lot of china cabinets are very like ornate and kind of like vintage looking, which I feel like doesn't really fit the style of my house. So I was glad to find something that had like good bones, and I like the black hardware. However, this color I'm not really a fan of. It's a little too light for my taste and a little too yellow. So I'm gonna be working on trying to darken this a little bit. And then at the bottom, which you guys won't be able to see now, but there is like a black piece that looks a little chipped and rough, so I'm also gonna be painting that. And then we're gonna style it. And I just hope that I can make it like match somewhat at least to the woods that I have going on now in the house. But yeah, so I don't really know how I'm gonna go about this yet, just because I feel like I don't even know if I could sand this. I know there's some products that you could put directly over like finished wood or veneer or whatever that just like deepen the color. So I might try something like that. I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out, so wish me luck. So the first thing I actually decided to try was a paint wash. I had this cabinet and furniture paint in like this kind of grayish color, and I figured that if I mix that with some water, I could try to apply it with a cloth onto the cabinet and try to just eliminate a little bit of that yellow color. And although it did do that, I just wasn't loving how it looked. It almost looked a little too gray, and I just wasn't happy with it. So at this point, I realized that I was just gonna have to paint the cabinet. Since it's not real wood, I can't just sand it and stain it. So I went to go look through my paint samples. So I have this little sample that I picked up a while ago, like in the mist tints section. It was only $2. And I'm kind of tempted to try to paint this cabinet with it because it's a really pretty like light beige color. And that's kind of what I'm thinking is gonna look best. Obviously there's a part of me that thinks I should go get actual like cabinet furniture paint, but I did paint my bookshelves with just wall paint and it worked. I'm thinking maybe I do this, and I can always do this top part, which I think is the one that'll get like the most use. I could seal it with some poly, and then the rest shouldn't really be touched that much. So I think it's fine. I mean, I could always just paint over it if it goes wrong. Okay, so I went ahead and removed the doors so that I could paint those separately, and the glass shelves. Now I'm gonna go ahead and clean it with this that removes like any grease and grime. And then I'm gonna sand it slightly, even though it is like particle board or whatever, but I still feel like it'd be good to at least like scuff sand a bit. Okay, so now that it's clean, I'm gonna go in with some wood filler because there's some places like right here, there's this little chip, and it looks like they screwed in something here on the side. So I'm just gonna fill all these holes. Okay, well, the wood filler needs, I think, 2 hours to dry before I can sand it, so I'm just gonna wait on the drawer and on this side, but I am gonna get started on the rest. Now, I don't think I'm gonna paint the back because I'm thinking of maybe putting some like wallpaper or something in here. Maybe something that even looks like wood, but like kind of matches like the dining table, like a bit darker. I don't know, we'll see, but I'll leave that for last and see how I feel. By the way, if you're wondering why I didn't remove these, that's because I feel like with this kind of material, it's not good to keep unscrewing and screwing back in like the screws, because then like the hole kind of just gets bigger and then it's not going to be as secure. So I'd rather just try to paint around it. Done. And honestly, I think this pink color is too light. Like there's barely a difference between that and the wall color. So I think I'm gonna get some like new paint that's a bit darker, and then we'll do the second coat with that. I mean, maybe once it dries, it'll look darker. I don't know. I'll wait and see. But yeah, either way, it's definitely gonna need another coat, maybe even 2 more coats. Okay, so it's the next day. This is completely dry. And honestly, it does look a little bit darker, but I still feel like it's a little too light and it's also a little too gray. So I went to Home Depot and I took the color that I use, which is this one, and try to find something that was just slightly darker and slightly warmer. So I ended up with this color here, which is called Polo Tan. Here's my little sample. Do you see that? It's just like a tiny bit darker, a tiny bit warmer. So I think I'll like that more. And I just got a sample size because one sample size was enough to do like 1 coat on all of this, and I still have extra. So this should be enough to do the second coat, and I hope I like the color. Also, I ordered some stuff to stick back here. I ordered 2 options, so once, oh, my nails. But once that arrives, then I'm gonna see which one I like more. So I'm actually gonna test it first on the inside of the door. All right, so moment of truth. Oh, is that too... I don't know. Like, is it too, like, peachy? I don't know, but I think I'm just gonna trust the process and do at least the whole inside of the door and then let it dry, and then I can see from there what I want to do. So I'm gonna do a little experiment. I have a tiny bit left of the first color, which for anyone interested, it's called Realist Beige. It's a Valspar color, I guess. And then I have this bare one, which is Polo Tan. I don't have much in here of the first one, like barely anything. But I'm gonna pour in a tiny bit of this, kind of like the same amount, make it like a 50-50 mix maybe, and see if I like that color. Because I think this is too light and gray, and this is a bit too like peachy. But together, I think they could create the color that I want. So I'm gonna test it in here, and if I like it, I'm gonna go out and get more of Realist Beige and just mix both together. Okay, now we mix these 2. All right, let's test that. All right. I think that already looks a lot better. Okay, I think I'm happy with that color. As you can see next to the other one, it's just a little bit lighter, a little less peachy. I think we've achieved the perfect color. So I need to go get more of the realist beige so we can mix it in with the polo tan. Okay, I'm back with some new paint, and I know it doesn't look the same, but I guess their machine for this wasn't working, but they assured me the Sherwin-Williams one would be the exact same color. It still says realist beige. So now we're gonna mix that in with this color, which is the polo tan, into this container, and it has a lid so that I can store any remaining paint. Hello, Oliver. This is not a good time for you to be here. Yeah, I'm just gonna put all of it because I don't plan on using this color at all on its own. I don't like it. It's too peachy. Now, realist beige. I think I'm gonna mix it first before I pour everything else out. Okay, let's mix. I don't think I'm gonna put any more. I feel like this is a good enough color. It's light enough, it's neutral enough. I think this is our color. I hope it's close to the one I tested, and I hope I like it. I still have a little bit extra of this if I need it. Also, while I was there, I got one of these little like mist tint things, and it's a sample of accessible beige, which is a color I've thought about using maybe here for the cabinets in the kitchen. So I want to test it out at some point. Honestly, it's probably similar to the color that I achieved by mixing this, but I want to save this to test in the cabinets. All right, let's get to painting. Okay, now we let everything dry, and hopefully I like the color. I like the color now, but hopefully I still like it when it's dry. Okay, so next day I have the contact paper, wallpaper. I don't actually know what it's supposed to be. I think you can use it on walls, but basically contact paper to use in there. And I have two options, so let's see what looks better. Okay, so the first one I got is kind of supposed to look like wood slats, and then there's like the, oh, I'm not showing the right part. There's like the black in here, and I feel like if it's far away enough, or if this was small enough, it would actually maybe look real, but I feel like, I don't know. I feel like that's not looking very real. The other option is this one, where it is kind of like wood slats too, except the wooden part is lighter, and this part isn't as black, so I feel like it might go well like with the rest of the colors. Maybe we should turn this on so we can see it here. But I feel like, I mean, you're not gonna be able to see it very well unless I open it, but I don't want to open it because I want to return whichever one I don't use. But I don't know. You guys see the difference? I feel like this one is just gonna match the color of the cabinets more and not be like too intense. So this is the one I'm leaning towards, but I'm not gonna do it today because it's already nighttime. This just arrived and it's late. But tomorrow I will get started on that, and then we can reattach the doors and hopefully be finished. I might do a poly top coat here because I feel like this part is the part that's gonna be used the most. The shells are fine because they're glass. So yeah, and then I think I should be good, and then I can style it. I'm really excited. was actually pretty easy, and I think it looks pretty good. So now I just need to touch up around the lights here because some of the paint came off, and then I can put the doors back on and start putting stuff inside the cabinet. Okay, so as much as I would love to be done, I do think this part needs a top coat, so I'm gonna go in with this satin clear spray, and hopefully that'll protect this part from the paint chipping and stuff. Okay, so before I show you guys how the cabinet turned out, I want to show the living room because after all, it does kind of, it's like part of the living room where the cabinet is. So, some updates since the makeover that I did here. I added this piece of art over here, and then I added this. I'm still unsure about this. I got both of these at clearance at Target, and I just feel like this wall needs something, but I don't want it to be just more art because I feel like there's already too much. That's why I put that one over there. So if you have any ideas of something that I could use to like fill that wall, because it's also so tall, but yeah, that isn't just artwork in a frame. I thought about doing the whole like cutting boards thing where you put like a bunch of them, but I feel like that's a bit overdone. I don't know. Anyway, so if you guys remember, if you did watch my makeover, I painted these chairs that I thrifted black, and they were always supposed to be temporary because they are a bit damaged and just not the best quality. And so I finally have some new chairs for this place. I just received the boxes with all the chairs, so I'm gonna put them together, put them over in the dining room, and then I'll show you guys how everything looks. All right, guys, the chairs have been built. They're looking very cute over there, but yeah, now let's see how the whole dining area looks, and of course, with our new cabinet. Well, what did you guys think? I think it looks so cute. Like, I'm obsessed with how it looks. Like, when I got this, I already thought it was cute. It just didn't really match, you know, like I said, the woods in my home. But painting it, I actually really, really love it. So, let me know what you guys thought. Also, my chairs, what do you guys think? I really like them. I think the wood goes so well with the table, and then I like that it brings in some of the black. The reason I chose chairs like this is because I have cats, and so if I got ones with cushions, they would just scratch them all up, just like they've scratched our couch. But then I also didn't want one that was just like wood, because I'm like, that's not very comfortable. That's kind of what we had before, and yeah, I didn't like sitting there for very long. So I feel like this was like the perfect thing, because the leather is like pretty comfortable, but it's not really something that they would want to scratch. Or at least I hope not. But anyway, about the cabinet, so I really did not spend much to make over this cabinet. I mean, I originally got it for $25, as you guys know, which is a steal. And then I used the little sample containers of paint. So I believe one was like a mist tint, so it was like $2. And then the other one I got, I think was like $5 or $6. So less than 10 bucks in paint. And then the like wallpaper or like contact paper was $7 for the roll. And I still have so much left, so I could use it for other projects. So yeah, that was a very inexpensive way to make over the cabinet, which I think made a huge impact. Like I said, I love it. And now our dining area is pretty much complete. Like I said, I still don't know if I like that. So if you have ideas for that wall, please leave them in the comments. Like, I just cannot think of anything else to put there. And then hopefully the next area that I'll be moving on to is our kitchen, because I absolutely hate the color of our cabinets. I also hate our countertops, but that's expensive to swap out. So gonna have to get creative, or I don't know, or maybe that would be the one thing we invest in. We'll see, but hopefully that will be coming soon. But if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.